And so with her, because of my work as an actor and also now writing, some people will say to you, are you writing another book? But they say it in such a derogatory way, whereas Doris said, I'm so proud of you. I said, Doris, you've been coming here for dinner for years. So why can't you just get in touch with your heart and write something pleasant? And that's what she wrote.
Doris Roberts, after dinner once, wrote you a note. And I took that idea as incredibly loving. It goes back to you saying, who do you invite to the dinner table? People you really appreciate.
Well, when I approached Doris that she would write the introduction, her comment was, oh, darling, why don't you do that? Because I don't know what I'm going to say. I said, Doris, you've been coming here for dinner for years. So why can't you just get in touch with your heart and write something pleasant? And that's what she wrote. And I think because every time she came, it's like my friends who come over always know they're going to get a good meal. I never cheap on the thing. I've seen people come in the house with daisies in their hand. I said, does this house look like it collects daisies? Or they'll bring me $2 chuck. And I said, are you bringing that so I can put as a wine for the food? Because it's certainly not going on the table. And, things like that, where people are not experiencing you or contributing, and also shows you how cheap it is. And even when Doris, who used to get crates of Dom Perignon champagne free because she was connected to somebody who worked there, she would come in and she would say, darling, here's some Dom Perignon, put it in the fridge. I said, oh, okay, thank you. And I think, oh, this is a person who understands quality. And then 5 minutes later, she's sitting at a chair. She says, well, open the champagne for me, will you? So I realized it wasn't for the house, it was for her. So she didn't bring anything. So I thought to myself, here's this woman who makes an enormous amount of money. I've studied with her for over 20 years with Katselis, the director. And then she would come in and sit at the table and she would look at the flowers, and then she would look at the presentation of everything, and then she would smell the food. And so through that experience, and because you don't always get respect. You have to earn it, especially if it's valid. And so with her, because of my work as an actor and because of my success as an actor and also now writing, some people will say to you, are you writing another book? But they say it in such a derogatory way, whereas Doris said, I'm so proud of you. So, Mike, you can go. I went out with Doris, just the two of us. We went to movies because she always had to have that. She was like Joan Rivers. She had to have every night filled. She couldn't stand just being on her own. So when she was invited to my home, she always remembered the presentation and the flavors of that evening.
So once again, the book is called Seducing Celebrities One Meal at a Time. And can you please let us know, where can we find more? Where can we find you? Website, social media? Where are the best places to find this book?
Well, I have the podcast, which I just finished, The Lost Treasures, which is on Spotify. That I'm very pleased with because it was because in many ways I love being an archaeologist in some way, and that's why I took a lot of the journeys I did. So it really is about the Trojan horde, the Mycenaean horde, and where the Trojan War started. And the third one really is about Ulysses coming home. And so I explored that last year. So for the last 2 years, I wrote this 4-segment podcast. And I'm now beginning to write another one.
Well, we will check out the podcast for sure. And we're going to be looking for the book everywhere books are found. We'll see you at Barnes & Noble's, at the Grove. It's been an absolute pleasure to connect with you and talk to you about family and food and delicious things. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care.